Scribe can now export its area calculation data, enabling you to see how the room areas were calculated and what was excluded or included in the calculation. To do this, you'll need to change a setting in your profile, so go to Global Settings and then Icon and Button Visibility. Look for the Enable Area Validation setting and change it to Yes. In order to export the area validation data, you'll also need to choose the layer you want to export. This can be done in the sketch on a plan-by-plan basis, but if you have a certain layer you predominantly want to export, there is an additional setting we can use to skip that step. Go to the Layer Names tab, choose the layer you want to export, and set the default layer to show to Yes. We're now ready to export the area data, so let's go into Scribe and see what's changed. Firstly, if we go to Calculate mode, you'll notice that our default layer is selected automatically, whereas without a default, it would have just shown the first one in the list. You can also see an option called Show Area Validation. Tapping this will toggle a visual representation of how the area was divided for calculation purposes and which areas were excluded, shown here the numbers in red. Next, if we go to Preview mode, we can see that our default layer is already selected, but if you need to export a different layer, you can tap on Settings and change the selection in the drop-down list. You must have a selection in this box for the area validation data to be included in your export. Now, if we trigger an export, you'll see a new list of available files called Calculations Data. The image and PDF files will contain the visual area breakdown we saw in Calculate mode, and the CSV file will contain the underlying data that makes up the calculation, with a row for each numbered area containing dimensions, type, and whether it's an addition or subtraction. Using these two files, you can check to make sure that you've included all of the areas you wanted in your calculation, and that any excluded areas have been correctly subtracted.